Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Dan from the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel, and as you can see, I am out in the glorious sunshine today, bringing you Lay The SmackDan on NXT. So, what happened on this edition of NXT? Well, Adam Cole stood tall at the end of the night. A huge six-man tag team match has been set for NXT TakeOver. But we kicked things off with the announced match of Austin Theory versus Oney Lorcan. Now, this match didn't really stay one-on-one for very long because obviously these two have people that are generally in their corner. So you have Johnny Gargano and Pete Dunne. They both came out to ringside to support their respective guys, ended up brawling, needed security to break them up, and the match ended with Oney Lorcan getting the 1, 2, 3. But yeah, so I think it's quite a solid opening match to this card, really. It led nicely, I suppose, into the next segment, which we actually had Legado del Fantasma coming out to call out essentially Bronson Reed and MSK. As you would have heard from last week, I predicted that really with this feud that it could go in one of 3 different ways or 4 different ways. They could go for a winner takes all match. They could go with Santos Escobar versus Bronson Reed for the North American title. They could go with Wilder Mendoza going up against MSK for the tag titles. What we are getting is probably, for me, the favorite idea out of them, and that is that at Takeover In Your House, we are getting a winner take all match. And that is Bronson Reed teaming with MSK to take on Santos Escobar, Raul Mendoza, and Joaquim Wilde. Now, the winners of this match, obviously, if Reed and MSK win, then they will all retain their championships. If Legado del Fantasma win, then Santos Escobar becomes the NXT North American champion, and MSK become the tag team champions. But yeah, so as they were on their way out, on their way to the back, they were interrupted by Hit Row. Obviously, we knew that Isaiah Swerve Scott was to have a match with Killian Dane. That was announced last week as well. But yeah, it was a decent little match. Isaiah Swerve Scott getting the victory. So it's a really good, a good start, I guess, leading in for Hit Row. It's going to be interesting, I guess, to see where they're going to go. Are they going to have maybe Top Dollar and Ashanti the Adonis going after the tag team titles? Are they going to have B-Fab going after the women's championship? And obviously Swerve seemingly is throwing his name in the hat for the North American championship. As I say, it's quite it's going to be, I guess, quite interesting to see where they go from here. But Hit Row is definitely one of the best things that they've got at the moment over on the NXT brand. I really do like them, and so as I say, it's going to be interesting to see exactly what they do with them. So next we get the priceless announcement. So this was announced on Monday Night Raw, and it was essentially Ted DiBiase coming out to the ring. There was a table or a pedestal thing set up in the middle of the ring. Now, these things generally are only there when they're introducing, say, a new championship belt or something along those lines. So you're thinking, okay, maybe there's going to be something. Now, I had predicted previously that they were going to bring back the $1 Million Championship. And so obviously Ted had the 2 guys in the ring and essentially said to them, okay, so Sunday is going to be the ultimate test It's time that you both climb the ladder of success. And then with that being said, a ladder just came down from the top of the Capitol Wrestling Center, much like when you get a cage match, how the cage just lowers, the ladder just lowered into the ring, a gold ladder with all the dollar signs on it. And Cameron Grimes is just saying, well, I can climb to the ceiling, but what am I reaching for? And then Ted DiBiase gets his team to bring in a briefcase, and it contains, you guessed it, the $1 million championship belts. So we now know that we are getting at TakeOver a ladder match to determine the $1 million champion between Cameron Grimes and LA Knight. I nearly called him Austin Theory then. Strange, but anyway. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting though to see whether the 24, come on Dan, not 24/7 championship, whether the $1 million championship is going to become a permanent fixture in NXT or whether it's just for this feud essentially. Yeah, so then we lead into a match that's been set up for next week, which is the Grizzled Young Veterans and Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa. So it's announced that these guys will go one-on-one then. It's announced that they are going to be facing off against each other in a tornado tag team match. So this all came about really as Grizzled Young Veterans are taking on August Gray and Ike Manjiro, but Ciampa and Thatcher came down. They had some chairs. They just sat on these chairs at ringside, watched the match from there. Grizzled Young Veterans hit the ticket to Mayhem. They get the win. And then Zach Gibson acknowledges the two guys sitting at ringside. This guy is absolutely awesome, man. I love Zach Gibson. He is such a great Scouse heel. So annoying. He's just got that accent that makes you just want to go up and just smack him across the head. But yeah, it's brilliant. But yeah, so he told Ciampa and Thatcher that they essentially were done with them, and Ciampa reminded them that they're not going to get a title shot unless they go through them. And this is when Gibson then lays out the challenge to face them next week in a tag team contest, but under Tornado rules. If you're not familiar with Tornado rules, it is essentially a regular tag match, but you don't tag in and out. It's just all four guys are in the ring at the same time. Yeah, it was also announced earlier in the night that Poppy, who is the lady who's done a number of NXT entrance themes and theme songs for the shows, has a new album. It was dropping right there and then. So she was essentially there to promote this. She had a backstage segment earlier in the night with William Regal and Triple H. During this, though, Dexter Lumis walks in. He gives Poppy a lovely drawing, which she accepts. She hugs him, which Indy Hartwell sees. She's super angry. So Candice LaRae heads to the ring, says about being sick of hearing about her all the time. Is really just annoyed with what happened with her and Dexter. And so she basically says to him, you look, Index are a thing. That's, I guess, the name that they're referring to Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis by now. One of those weird things, yeah. But then she tells Poppy that she can either do it the easy way or the hard way, calls her out to the ring. Poppy comes out and is like, look, I don't wrestle, but I know someone who does. So welcome back, Io Shirai. She comes in, hits a 619 on Candice, and the two stand tall at the end. They celebrate together in the ring. Are we going to see Io Shirai maybe in a tag team to go up against these two? It's hard to say, really, because you could put her in there, I guess, against Candice, and then you have, say, like a ready-made number one contenders feud there. But I guess, yeah, it's one of those things, I guess, where, you know, we're going to have to wait to find out. So, Yeah, so then we get another match which have takeover consequences. This was the final of the advertised contests, and it was between Ember Moon and Dakota Kai. Obviously, announced from last week. It was an absolutely brilliant match, really. Shows exactly what the main roster is missing from Ember Moon. But yeah, I mean, there was a few close near falls in this one, but in the end, Ember was going for the Eclipse, but before she could hit it, bang, she gets kicked straight in the head by Raquel Gonzalez, causes the referee to disqualify her. She then gets beaten down 2-on-1, recovers enough to actually then hit the Eclipse on Raquel Gonzalez, drapes the belt over her before leaving. And yeah, I mean, this one is quite close to call, actually, the match between the two at TakeOver. If you don't know, I'm going to get to that at the end. I'm going to do all my TakeOver predictions. But yeah, we also found out, not on the show, but it was actually revealed on social media that Shotzi Blackheart's actually dealing with some kind of injury. So a fan essentially asked her outright, is there a reason that we're not seeing Shotzi? Are you injured? And she just replied with yes. So I mean, read into that what you will. It could just be Shotzi working us, or it may be that she is genuinely injured. But if she is injured, hopefully it's not too serious and we get to see her back in a ring very soon. So then we get to the final segment of the night, and you know, this was building up to the fatal 5-way match at Takeover In Your House. Obviously, Karrion Kross defending against Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Kyle O'Reilly, and Pete Dunne. He comes out, essentially, Kross, saying that all 4 of his opponents have been afforded the opportunity to face him tonight, and they don't have to wait until Sunday to find out what it is going to be like to be flatlined. But Regal tried to regain control of the show, telling Karrion Kross that he might be the champ, but he doesn't run the show, and this will not happen now. But Karrion Kross basically snaps back at Regal, saying to him, look, you don't run this show. It's not going to happen now. It's been out of control for a very, very long time. And you just don't run anything. I mean, is this going to be a thing maybe where you get Kross and Regal and one of them's going to maybe try and run the other one out of NXT? Who knows? But then we get all 4 guys come out to the ring after Kross has said, look, I want you all to come out here, get your asses kicked. I'm not leaving until you do. But sorry, not all 4 of them, 3 of them come out. Adam Cole is still on the Titantron. And yeah, so they, in the end, all start to fight. Karrion Kross stands tall until, bam, super kick to the back of the head. And then he gets a flying knee from Adam Cole, who then stands up and just shouts out, say hello to your new champion, Adam Cole Bay. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting, I guess, to see on Sunday exactly what is going to happen. So that was everything, I guess, for the NXT portion of this show. But let me know your thoughts on this episode of NXT in the comment section down below. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. But for now, in a little bit of a bonus, we are going to do NXT TakeOver In Your House predictions. So the first match I'm going to predict is Mercedes Martinez versus Xia Li. Now, my thoughts on this one are that Xia Li is going to win. Mercedes Martinez is going to go to the main roster sooner rather than later. I think that's just as clear as day for me with that one. Obviously, Mercedes was meant to be coming up as part of Retribution, but she rightfully got out of there as soon as she could, and we all know how that worked out. But again, interesting to see what's going to happen in this one. We then move on to the 6-man winner takes all match between Bronson Reed and MSK, defending all of the gold against Legado del Fantasma. I can see champions easily retaining here. again, WWE are looking quite thin over on SmackDown. Legado del Fantasma would actually be a really good fit over there. That you get an addition to the tag division, you get an addition to the singles division. But all that aside, I can see the champions here retaining all their gold here, because I think you're going to have to feel that somebody, you'd feel sorry for someone, say like a Bronson Reed, if it was one of the tag guys that got pinned, and it's like, well, he's lost his championship essentially through no fault of his own. So these are always kind of tough matches. So then we move on to the now announced ladder match. So that is Cameron Grimes taking on LA Knight for the $1 Million Championship, I guess. To me, this one makes sense to be Cameron Grimes. I mean, I can see it possibly. I can see LA Knight winning it, and then possibly them feuding maybe at the next pay-per-view. I don't know what the next takeover is, but I think it'll probably be around the SummerSlam time. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with Cameron Grimes on this one. So Cameron Grimes, I feel, to win this match. Then we move on to the Women's Championship, and that is Raquel Gonzalez and Ember Moon. I think Raquel's going to win this. I feel as though this may be quite what's the word I'm looking for? Quite like a comprehensive victory. I think Raquel's going to win it quite easily, in all fairness. I've got nothing against Ember. She's an incredible worker. Loved her work on the main roster. Severely underutilized, as many of the women are. But yeah, I think Raquel is going to win this, and then she's going to go on to have some more feuds. Obviously, Io Shirai recently returning. Could get that rematch as well very soon. Then we get on to the main event of the evening, the Fatal 5-Way match for the NXT Championship. Karrion Kross defending against Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Kyle O'Reilly, and Pete Dunne. Right. Kross is not winning. They're doing this as a way to get the championship off of him. But it's who wins. So Kross is not winning it. For me, that's a definite. He's not going to win. Just so they can take the title off him, so he doesn't have to be involved in the decision whatsoever. You know what? I'm going to go quite bold here. I'm going to go that Kyle O'Reilly is going to win this one. And I think he's going to pin Adam Cole to make a point to win this match. It's like he may have an option where he could pin two people, but he's going to pin Adam Cole. Then it means, obviously, Kyle being the only babyface technically in this match as well. It then opens up a heel feud with Pete Dunne. I never got pinned. You couldn't beat me. It opens up a heel feud with Johnny Gargano. I didn't get pinned. You couldn't beat me. It obviously keeps the feud of Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole going, where, the former Undisputed Era people. And then it paves a way for Karrion Kross to just do whatever the heckin' he wants. So yeah, that's, I guess, everything for this episode, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. But yeah, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to Rebellious Noise on YouTube. Don't forget, you can follow us all on Twitter at RM Pro Wrestling. You can follow me at Dan_RebNoise. For now, that is everything. I will be back at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning with the SmackDown review. For now, that is everything, guys. Take care. Enjoy the sunshine, what's left of it, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.